All right, guess what, guys? The weekend is upon us and club football is back. Here are the odds for the Premier League title favorites, and Arsenal still firm favorites to win what will be their first title since 2003. We'll see if they can do that. Well, let's welcome back in Don and Gab for this one. Now, Don, last week on the show, and I know Shaka doesn't have a lot of faith in your percentages, but you gave us a 50-50% for either Arsenal or Manchester City after what we saw from them to win the title. So after what the news that we got from this international break, with the fact that Gabriel was in action with Brazil and now he's going to be out for at least a month, does that peg Arsenal back a bit now, or is it still 50-50 for you?
No, I think it's still 50-50. I think they've got players that can come in. I mean, no one's Gabriel for them. I think he's one of the most important players for Arsenal. But City have got a very tough game away at St James's Park against Newcastle. North London derby coming up for Arsenal. So I just think it's very, very early. The start that they've had has been magnificent. I think they have been flowing. The game against Sunderland was a hard-fought 2-2 draw, and I thought Sunderland deserved their point out the game. But you look at the fixtures coming up. I mentioned the London derbies for them, so that's where the difficulty is going to come. But there's so much time, and there's so many games to try and say, right, who's a standout favourite? I know it's what we like to do because as fans and as analysts and pundits, we try and predict the future, and we look into the crystal ball and we think, right, who's good, who's flowing, who's struggling a little bit. Take Liverpool completely out of the equation. I don't think they're ready for a title charge at all. So City, I think, you know, it's a captain obvious shout what I'm going to say, but after this weekend we'll know that little bit more because, as I said, there's hard fixtures to come.
Hi, Captain Obvious.
Well, let's have a look at the Premier League standings there. Manchester City, they're in second, and as we know, they have chased down Arsenal before. Up next this weekend, they do have a nice little trip to St James's Park to face Newcastle. And if we have a look at Newcastle's form away from St James's Park, we know it has not been well. Usually we call St James's Park quite the fortress, but Don, if you look at it, they have lost to some big guns at home, the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, Barcelona, but they did manage to beat Spurs in the League Cup. So how do you see this game going?
Listen, I'd fancy Newcastle against anyone at home. I've been up there. I've seen them beat the likes of Man City in a cup. I've seen them beat Paris Saint-Germain. I've seen them beat Man United. I've seen them beat anyone, Tottenham by 6.
But not Arsenal.
Newcastle are a different animal.
And not Liverpool and not Barcelona.
Just keep naming every win they've ever had.
You say not Arsenal, but not Arsenal this season. They beat them there last season, the season before. So you're looking at a microcosm of a fixture when you say, well, they can't beat Arsenal anymore. Well, only one game, because they've beat them plenty of times over the last couple of years. So
but this season's the one that matters,
Newcastle are a different animal when they play at home.
All right, let's go to our other Newcastle guy. Shaka, what do you think then on this one? Because I know...
To Don's point, both the winners against Arsenal and Liverpool came in injury time at the very end of the game. So, and Liverpool were flying high at the time when they went to St James's Park and won. Arsenal are flying high all season long. Are Manchester City the equivalent of early season Liverpool and current Arsenal? No, I still think no. I still think Arsenal are the best team in the league, bar none. So now the question is, do Manchester City, as good as they have been, do they have what it takes to go to St James's Park and win? I still know, as hopeful as I am that City are the team, and I believe they're the only team that can make this any kind of a title race later on, I just don't think they're as good as Arsenal. I don't think they can go to St James's Park and win. I think Newcastle, their away form is really kind of shining on them negatively. They are far better than their league position would suggest. At home, they get it, job done.
Somebody, because Don is not going to be able to do this, somebody has to explain to me, right? How can this be 50-50 Arsenal, Manchester City, when Arsenal are leading by 4 points. So just by that logic, you cannot have the same chance of winning the league if you're trailing by 4 points.
This is by Don's standards.
Yeah, well, but Don's standards, well, you have to grade on a curve then.
You know Don's percentages are curvy.
Don's percentages are curvy.
Yeah, that's just...
They're all over the shop.
Ali's obviously not capable of looking at my percentages or the algorithms of Shaka. When Man City have chased down Arsenal a couple of times over the years. No, I'm bigging them up.
Mine are science.
I'm bigging them up.
No, you're not.
I'm bigging them up, Shaq.
No, when you like them to your percentages.
Ali can't get into gear.
No.
Ali can't get in. He can't get in the algorithms. It comes from a more. Ali comes from a more simplistic place. Ali looks at it very simply. He looks at the points tally and he goes, Arsenal are 4 points clear. They should win the title, and they will win the title.
But right now
it comes down to emotion, Ali, and the bottom of the team. Can they get it done?
Right, fantastic.
It's 50-50.
Beautiful. Okay, all of that is great. But my simple mind tells me that if a team is up 4 points, right now where we are, because the percentage is now, not 6 months from now, the percentage is now. My very simple mind tells me that team is more likely to win it than the other team.
Gab, you've got the Italian hands up. Let's let Gab in because he's got the Italian hands up.
Alexis said to me, Gabriel's injured.
Let me explain.
Does that change the equation?
Now, you're overcomplicating this. Let's keep it in a simple way that ex-footballers understand.
Okay.
You guys all play golf, right?
Yeah.
Think of it as a handicap. Yeah, Ali, if you play off a 12 and Craig plays off an 8, then you have an advantage, right? Because it's a handicap. But it still might be 50-50. That's what he's saying. He's implicitly saying
Gab, I appreciate
Manchester City.
Gab, I appreciate you trying to explain
That's
this.
how math works.
I appreciate what you're trying to do here. But if you think Don gave it that much thought as to somehow project this into a golf handicap, then you're really overestimating Don's ability to do simple math.
I think Don gives it a lot of thought. He loves his percentages.
I'll tell you what then, Ali. If you are so confident Arsenal will win the league, go and take £10,000 of your hard-earned money and go and stick it on Arsenal.
Hey, how about
you are that confident?
Hey, how about you pay me the dinner you owe me? That you haven't.
Don't dodge the question.
The bet you lost to me. The bet you lost to me. You can pay that, and then I will put the £10,000 on my hard-earned money. Good Lord.
Do not dodge the question. That will be paid when I see you in the summer. Gabriel's going to be a big loss for them. That was the question that was posed.
All right. Should we leave it there?
I have no idea what's going on.
I got percentages aren't really my strength. I failed.
News about Gabriel up to 2 months out with injury, a thigh injury. Right. Are you worried at this point now?
I don't think you can be worried. Of course, you want him fit. You just got to get on with it because you can't feel sorry for yourself. You just got to someone else in the squad's going to have an opportunity to get it.
What will he do? Who will he play?
Mascara probably.
Yeah.
Probably come alongside Saliba. I think that'd be the best, but I think Timber's got a problem as well, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like when you look
Ben
at
White, Ben White can come in there. You got Lewis Skelly coming left back because Calafiori, I think, is a bit more precautionary.
You think the Spurs boys are like, here we go away from home?
Yeah, I should imagine so. But it's all about Arsenal being at home. They've got to start the front foot. You know, Tottenham, what they do away, they're very good away from home. They're very good. The way they just really slow it down and try and pick you off, really. So the Arsenal got to get right in their faces early doors, isn't it?
It's that time of the year where games are now going to come thick and fast, like one after another. Champions League games. You look at your injuries in forward and midfield. You've got Gyökeres and Martinelli. Still waiting to hear on all them. Madueke.
I don't think the medical room's big enough, is it?
I know that's.
They've got enough beds out.
But this is my point. You're at the top of the table, and only 2-3 weeks ago, people are saying it's Arsenal's to lose. you drop a few points. I mean, you look at your next few fixtures: Spurs at home, Bayern Munich at home, Chelsea away with 6 points off. Brentford at home, Villa away.
Who's going to catch them? Is it going to be City? Because Liverpool
City
are
be the
6
ones,
and
aren't they?
7s, aren't they?
Yeah, I think probably more City, even Chelsea, I'd say. I think
Chelsea a bit too.
And by the way, as well, you don't know who's coming back on a plane, if they're back already or they're flying this morning with Eagles.
It's a nightmare
Yeah.
time, isn't it, for managers, domestic managers, because all your best players go away, and then you're just hoping they stay fit. Because when they come back, it can really affect the season going forward. But
and the
look,
loads
it is
with
what it
like
is, and you've got to
weather,
get on with it. You've got to get on
cold,
with it. Oh, no.
niggles.
Yeah.
I've always maintained I think the Premier League winners are the ones who have the best bench
Yes.
for just that rotation of players and who can slot in.
Well, that's
It'll
why.
be interesting
That's why
next
Wenger
week.
said in our era that this team could go unbeaten because he knew the backup 6 or 7 could come in and do a similar sort of job. Not as good as Dennis Bergkamp and Henry and people like that, but a similar job. Will Talk, Carnu, and people like that could do a similar job. And
That's a good game
right
of
there,
the weekend. Liverpool Forest. You know, Van Dijk's still got the Hamas and Bruni and so-called experts' comments, but Forest will have a go there. So it's going to be a good game. It's a cracking game.
Do you know what? We do a thing down the pub, our local pub, and every single week you see the fixture list. You think, oh, there's no one standout game that you think, oh, that's going to go that way, that's going to go away. I think every single week it's so hard. It's so hard picking who's going to win. Burnley can get results. Sunderland, look at Sunderland now. Just got a
Do you
great
see
result
that
against
picking up a
Arsenal.
wee bit or not?
Who?
Sunderland, do you see that run coming stuttering somewhere over when the games come thick and fast?
Well, look, they're enjoying it in the moment. I think they can't wait for the next game, Sunderland, because everyone's buzzing, isn't they?
Yeah.
You know, the whole city's buzzing. So I think they're flying at the moment. They just got to keep.
Manchester United ever, just a quick one because I've got to break on Monday night. United win that, they're not far away, are they, United, which is remarkable.
Well,
there's a bit of paper today. I think the manager wants to bring in the likes of Cantona and people like that, for a bit
inspire
of
them. More on the news that Gabriel will be out for at least 2 months with this thigh injury. At least. Arguably, Arsenal's most important player, especially when it comes to that settled back line. 5 goals in 11 games. Also can score goals at set pieces, which Arsenal have been brilliant at so far this season. So I think your reaction really, Ray, because from a Tottenham point of view, I mean, you're thinking, brilliant. If there's one player at the moment with Arsenal, if you wanted out of that team, it's him.
Yeah.
Well, certainly they've got to play on the front foot, Arsenal. So it's all about the midfield, wide areas. Saka, Declan Rice. You've still got loads of options, haven't they? I mean, they're very strong, still going forward. Look, it's a blow. There's no doubt about that. Gabriel's a very important player for the team itself. You can see his drive when he plays, and he gets the crowd going. When he just really is took to Arsenal. But look, that happens. You're going to get key players getting injured, and it's all about who comes in now.
Yeah,
Mascara would be Hincapié. They're both young players, 23 and 21. And Saliba's a young man. People forget Saliba's only young, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know what? I kicked myself because several weeks ago I was going to back City. They were a big price.
Oh, Alan.
Already.
No, I like a bit of interest.
What price were they? What price were they? 6-1.
They were.
I would have loved to on that out.
You should never underestimate Pep.
Well, you don't know about the injury teams are going to get. But the problem is if Haaland got injured, who knows what happens to Haaland? Will he stay fit the whole season?
True.
And he could be key for Man City going forward. But look, North London derby's a fantastic game to play in. I'm sure the Emirates will be rocking. Tottenham will be confident as well because they're going to the Emirates and they got a great away record, haven't they? So it should be an interesting game for week.
Do you think the fact that Arsenal do have these options, like you say, Mascara and Hincapié, he's been playing at left back, can he come into the left-hand side alongside Saliba? Do you think the fact that they did such good business in the summer that they find themselves in this position with options?
They're really strong at the back. Calafiori, I don't know how bad he is.
I like him.
Yeah, but he can probably play centre-half as well. So what do you think the result will be, Sam?
I think it's going to be a great game. I think the fact that Arsenal drew 2-2, didn't they? Stop their winning streak before the break.
Sam, are you just too busy filming all the time?
No, I'd love any time I get a chance to go to Anfield, I'd take it. But
does the old man go? Does he go?
No, it's dead hard to get tickets.
Is it?
Like gold dust, yeah. And then you want to, and then you want to pull in your favours when you want to pull in your favours. But
certain
you can
games
still get them. But tickets, I just think across the board, they just.
I think every club's like that.
Ridiculous. You're talking like 200-300 quid. are like top Premier League sides now, aren't you?
Yeah.
For like a last minute.
Hobbies Liverpool Red as well.
Oh no, he's a different Red. Manchester Red.
Manchester Liverpool.
That's why you don't go.
Yeah, we put it in like when we got married. We put it in like a bit of our speech. He said he tried to wind me up, and he said something along the lines of it's like in his vows, I promise to stand united forever. And then I turned it around back up and I said, I promise to make sure that you never walk alone.
Yeah.
All that type of stuff. But he's a closet Liverpool fan. He'll hate me for saying it, but he's a closet Liverpool fan. He came to Anfield with me and started coming to European nights. And I think anyone who goes to Anfield on a European night, it's easy to turn.
Yeah.
It's easy to turn.
We've got a few of them down the pub out.
Tottenham. Name names.
Tottenham, and they I'll go to Arsenal. I'll go to the hospitality at Arsenal. I'd love to go. They're not proper Tottenham fans.
How do you see it going? How do you see it?
I think it's a bit of a difficult game.
Take a draw now.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be a cracking game. I think it could be open.
It could be close. I think it'll be close.
Yeah.
It won't be a walkover, no chance.
Tottenham have got their injuries as well, so I think it'll be a really good game,
Sam, have a great few days. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much. And you. See you soon.